The top 10 times California failed hard. Number 10. San Francisco's bridges. After damage to the Oakland Bay Bridge in the 1989 earthquake, a major construction project began in 2002 to replace it. In 2013, workers noticed the bolts had cracked. Bridge inspectors found that more than 400 steel rods embedded in the suspension bridge's foundation were not sealed properly, which failed to protect them from the environment. Stories about what was done to repair the bridge are scarce and hard to find. If you know what they did to repair this bridge, please let me know in the comments section below. Taking a look at the other side of San Francisco is the iconic Golden Gate Bridge. We look at the Presidio Parkway, which is basically a road reconstructed to access the Golden Gate Bridge. It was an ambitious and costly construction project, which was intended to improve transportation access to the Presidio area. The project was plagued by challenges and setbacks from the beginning, including unexpected construction complexities, rising costs, and prolonged delays. As a result, the Presidio Parkway ended up costing significantly more and taking much longer to build than the Golden Gate Bridge itself in inflation-adjusted numbers. A bridge cost much less and took much less time to build than a road, which was not even as long as the length of the bridge. The Presidio Parkway was originally slated to cost around $1 billion, but by the time it was completed, the cost had skyrocketed to over $1.5 billion. Number 9. California's electricity. In 2000 and 2001, California had an electricity crisis when a supply-demand gap was created by energy companies, mainly the bankrupt and disgraced Enron. They did this to create an artificial shortage. Energy traders took power plants offline for maintenance in days of peak demand to increase the price. Traders were thus able to sell power at premium prices, sometimes up to a factor of 20 times its normal value. This led to days of blackouts. Also, California's provider, PG&E, filed for bankruptcy in the wake of fire lawsuits in 2019, faced with billions of dollars of potential liabilities from 2 years of devastating Northern California wildfires, as well as the specter of future catastrophic blazes. Number 8. California's water problems. California has not had enough water for decades. They experienced spans of drought with intermittent heavy rainfall. The state never completed the project to build out more dams to adjust for the growing population. And in 2014, during a drought, after placing restrictions on water usage, the government of California encouraged neighbors to tattle on each other in order to get more complaints. The fines for being found to have wasted water are anywhere in the range of $25 to $500. One year it did rain heavily in 2017, and that damaged the Orville Dam, causing 180,000 people to be forced to evacuate. Number 7. California's wildfires. California has the wildest fires in the country. It has experienced a number of them in the past few decades. Many of them have caused widespread destruction and claimed numerous lives. Some of the most notable: the 1991 Oakland Hills fire, which killed 25 and destroyed over 3,000 homes. The 2003 Cedar fire in San Diego was the largest wildfire in California's history at the time. And then the 2018 Camp Fire in Butte County, which was the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in California's history, killing 85 and destroying over 19,000 structures. These fires have highlighted the need for better fire prevention and management practices. Coming in at number 6, California's taxes. One would think that since they aren't spending the money on water infrastructure or the electricity grid or fire prevention, the government must have money to spare and could keep taxes low. But California has a budget of $200 billion, and the taxpayers see less and less for it. From Hollywood, filming out in places like Vancouver, Georgia for The Walking Dead, or New Mexico for Breaking Bad, for example, and the many celebrities have fled California for other states like Texas. Coming in at number 5, California's homelessness crisis. California has been facing a worsening homeless crisis for decades, with tent cities popping up in many areas. The neighborhood of Skid Row in Los Angeles and the Tenderloin district in San Francisco being some of the most affected areas. The problem has been attributed to a variety of factors, including high housing costs and unemployment. Despite the efforts by the government and non-profit organizations to address the issue, the number of homeless individuals and families in the state continue to rise. From people living in their cars and RVs, or people with mental health issues and drug problems, this has led to an increased strain on public services, as well as negative impact on the quality of life for residents and businesses in the area. The number 4 failure in the state of California was California's high-speed rail project. The project was plagued by cost overruns and delays. It was intended to connect Los Angeles to San Francisco. The state had hoped to attract private investment to help finance the project, but these investors were deterred by the high costs and delays, which made the project far less attractive from a financial standpoint. Also, the project had political opposition. Overall, the combination of cost overruns, delays, and opposition made the high-speed rail project untenable. It was never completed as originally planned. The number 3 time that California failed hard is San Francisco's Leaning Tower, also known as the Millennium Tower. It's a 58-story high-rise building located in the south of the Market neighborhood in San Francisco. Completed in 2008, marketed as a luxury high-rise residential building. However, as soon as its completion, it was discovered the building was sinking and tilting, leading to various lawsuits and complaints from residents. The building's settling has been attributed to a variety of factors. Mainly, the steel there to support the building were not down all the way to the bedrock underneath the dirt, which would make it more safe in an earthquake and prevent any kind of tilting to begin with. The building's windows have cracked, the sidewalks have cracked. There are residents who can roll a marble in one direction and see it come rolling back to them because of the tilting. They have been working on a number of solutions to try to fix the problem for quite a long time. Many attempts to fix the problem have resulted in the building dramatically tilting even more, which of course caused them to pause, as there are people still living in this high-rise. Coming in at number 2 is California's high cost of living. It's the supply and the demand, the cost of living, regulation, location. California's government regulations make it very difficult to build. And if there were more buildings, supply would increase, and that would meet the demand. The price would go down. California's government regulations make it very difficult to build. Is a hard fail, but not as hard as the number 1 failure in California's history, which was the overturning of Prop 187, also known as the Save Our State ballot initiative. in 1994. It was a ballot measure aimed at limiting services for illegal immigrants. It sought to ban illegal immigrants from using public services like public school, non-emergency health care, welfare, and required verification of citizenship before receiving the services, the taxpayers. The measure was supported by Governor Pete Wilson and passed with a large majority of vote by the citizen taxpayers of the state. However, a judge overturned the ruling. So what other failures, looking back on the list, have we seen? They are closely related to a booming population, destruction of the middle class, and the poor getting poorer. How many people were forced out of the middle class by spending too much money on other people's families for people who weren't citizens and therefore did not chip in? It may have contributed. How many illegals are in California? How many illegals came to have kids who now have birthright citizenship? We don't know. And that concludes our list of the top 10 reasons California failed hard. If you liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe.